The Cavs are 2.5 games ahead of the Knicks for the fourth spot. Fourth spot means you get home court in the first round of the playoffs. How do you judge if this has been a successful season for the Cavs, do you think?
I think for them, it kind of depends on who they see in the first round and who they would potentially see in the second round. But for me, coming into this year, Dave, I said all along that the Cavs aren't on the same level as Milwaukee, Philadelphia, Boston, and I said at the time Brooklyn, because they had Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, and that team was actually rolling at the time that they decided to dismantle it at the trade deadline for a variety of reasons. And I still don't think, based on what we've seen from the Cavs, that they are on that top tier of the Eastern Conference. So to me, it's not fair to expect them to win a 7-game series against one of those teams, because those teams are further along. They've accomplished more than the Cavs. They've been better than the Cavs throughout the course of this regular season. And they've been through things, especially in the postseason, that the Cavs haven't been through. So for me, if they get just to the first round and they get to experience a 7-game series, even if they lose that 7-game series, it's a win, because that's what Darius needs. That's what Evan Mobley needs. That's what this group as a whole, the core four specifically with Darius, Donovan, Evan, and Jarrett, that's what they need. Because oftentimes there are steps that organizations have to take. And when you go from a rebuilding team to the playoffs, that's a big, big step, right? It's very, very rare for a team to go from rebuilding team to all of a sudden they're championship contenders. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And obviously their timeline got sped up by the trade for Donovan Mitchell, but that wasn't a trade just for this year. That was a trade for this year, next year, and the year after. And to have all of these guys under contract for at least 3 more years around the same age that they are, there's some belief that even if the Cavs don't get out of the first round this year, they'll come back next year. They'll learn from that experience. They'll have that experience that they didn't have going into this year, and they'll organically grow from it. That's often what we see in the NBA.
I can't disagree with you, but I do think when you talk about Mitchell, Garland, Mobley, and Allen,
yeah,
they have a puncher's chance against anybody they're not going to be favorites, but if they play a certain way up to their capability, they can play with anybody in the league.
Look, like if they get a first-round matchup against Brooklyn, I think it's fair to expect them to win that matchup. And if they don't win that, based on what they've shown throughout the course of the regular season, how they've played throughout the regular season, and what they have in terms of high-level talent compared to Brooklyn, then I think you could say that series itself would be a disappointing outcome and a disappointing result for the Cavs. But like if they lose home court advantage, if the Knicks pass them, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but if the Knicks pass them and the Knicks get the 4th seed and the Cavs drop down to 5th, and they don't have home court advantage in round 1 against a team that has playoff experience, right? Jalen Brunson has been there. He knows what it's like. He knows how to thrive in that kind of environment. Same thing with Julius Randle and the way that the Knicks have played in the second half of the season. Like, I don't think you look at that and say, well, I can't believe the Cavs lost in the first round to the Knicks. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So I think it's obviously based on what the matchup's going to be in round 1, who has home court advantage, and all that kind of stuff. But I'm with you. Like, if they play against the Knicks, they have a fighting chance. If they play against the Nets, they should win that series. If they play against the Miami Heat, it would be a tough battle, and Miami's battle tested in a way that the Cavs aren't, but I think the Cavs could win that series. It's when you talk about the next series that they would have to face Milwaukee, Boston, Philadelphia. That's just a different level that I don't think the Cavs are at yet.